Aside from a few stories on my Instagram a little over a week ago, I haven't really addressed this, and I would just like to take a moment to say a few words. Over the past few months, there has been a pretty unhealthy, in my opinion, discourse over on TikTok and now on Facebook about car seat safety and specifically what qualifies someone to be able to talk about car seat safety. The idea that in order for someone to be qualified to talk about car seat safety, they have to be a parent is absolutely not correct in any shape or form. And that is not exclusive to car seat safety. There are a lot of people who, in their professional capacity, may never have experienced the thing that they talk about or do all day long. So I'll give you some examples. There are a number of people that may be oncologists that have never had cancer, pediatricians who've never had a baby, CPR instructors who've never had to do CPR on someone. There's so many situations where just because that person hasn't had to go through it themselves doesn't mean that they can't speak to it from an educated place or a place of experience related to helping others as they go through it. And of course, this is not to diminish anyone's experience if they have gone through something, but just because you went through something doesn't necessarily make you an expert on that thing. And whether we use the word expert or qualified or what have you, it is important that when we are talking about something related to health, wellness, safety, that we're getting that information from someone who is qualified to give us that information. When it comes to car seat safety, those are child passenger safety technicians, child passenger safety organizations like the Child Passenger Safety Association of Canada, Safe Kids Worldwide, National Safety Council, CPS Board, NHTSA, Transport Canada, car seat manufacturers. Those are the people that are involved and working in that field and have specialized expertise in that field. I took my cpst training in 2015. My daughter was 8 weeks old. And if you haven't heard me talk about this before, it's hard for me to get through it without crying, to be honest. So I'll give you the very short version. But I was using her car seat completely wrong. I was very, very confident that I was using it correctly, and I used it wrong in so many ways. Wrong angle, not tight enough, installed with both the seatbelt and the lower anchors when my seat and vehicle did not allow that. The handle was in the wrong position. She wasn't harnessed tightly nor correctly. Really, anywhere I could have made a mistake with my daughter's car seat, I was making it. And the first day of that course, I had really what can best be described as an emotional breakdown. I felt super unqualified to be a mom, and I thought to myself, like, how am I supposed to be in charge of this kid's safety? I can't even get this one thing right. That experience, I think, gave me empathy that I needed moving into this career that I'm now in, speaking to people about child safety and understanding that everyone really wants what's best for a kid. And no one's out there like, I'm going to endanger my child in their car seat today. But stuff is complicated. And reading a manual isn't super easy. I have ADHD. Reading a manual is not easy for me. I am now trained in how to read a car seat manual well and effectively and efficiently, but only by going through that process hundreds and hundreds of times was I able to really master that. And just being a mom, just having a baby, didn't just give me that knowledge overnight. I'm grateful that it really just kind of landed in my lap because my sister encouraged me to take that course. But if I hadn't done that, I guarantee you my kids probably wouldn't be harnessed correctly right now. I think it's also important just to address the undertone of a lot of these statements and how this comes across multiple levels. There are a lot of people in the world that have fertility complications, things that they are working through, people who really, really want kids and can't have them for a number of reasons. whether that is fertility or whether it's because of their sexuality and needing resources or even finding someone to raise a child with them. There are so many reasons that there are people out there that want kids and don't have them. And there's also people that love kids and just don't want their own, and that's okay too. I also find it particularly gross when people use that purposefully towards gay men, saying, well, they're childless and they're gay and it's creepy that they're working in the baby space. It's not creepy. It's okay to be childless and work in the baby space. In fact, some of the people that I know in this industry have worked in this industry for decades and, regardless of their sexuality, don't have kids and love their jobs and are great at their jobs. And we should be grateful that they care about our kids and want to keep them safe. I mentioned I became a cpst in 2015. In 2017, I became an instructor. So I've been training and certifying new cpsts now for the past 6 years. In that time, I have certified countless childless individuals. And for a number of reasons do those people come to my class to become a cpst. Some of them work in childbirth or childbirth education. Some of them work at retail stores, so like boutique baby stores. Some people work in social services, law enforcement. There are a number of reasons that someone could be childless and a car seat technician and be able to provide good quality advice, real qualified advice to caregivers without having a child of their own. I met my friend Jamie Grayson in May of 2022, which wasn't a long time ago. And if you have been following me since before then, you've probably noticed that he wasn't here and then suddenly he was here like every day in terms of always showing up in my content, in my feed. We have a very strong relationship. Jamie has stayed in my home. Jamie has hung out with my kids. Uh, he's not a creepy guy. He's really not a creepy guy. He is so respected in this industry. He has almost 2 decades of experience from working in retail. He was a correspondent for Baby Gear on the Martha Stewart show. He worked at a childbirth education center. He's been running speaking events all around both the US and Canada for years, selling them out. And he is really one of the leading experts and go-to people in the baby gear and child safety space. I have said a few times in the past few years that having social media and having a platform isn't like always rainbows and sunshine. It can be really hard, especially as someone who is sensitive and also very passionate about what I do. I sometimes myself say things that aren't the most tactful or come off the wrong way just because I get very worked up and passionate about what I'm talking about. I love what I do and it happens. I know that that's true for Jamie too. I can't really put into words how grateful I am that Jamie is not just in my life, but in my family's life and my kids' lives. He's really one of the most excellent human beings I've ever met. Everything he does is from his heart. He is so kind. He is really selfless. And this quality of material he puts out on the internet, which really he is just putting out there for free for people to learn, it's amazing. And I really appreciate everyone that has shown up for him over the last few weeks. Thank you. You keep doing you, Jamie. The child safety community, the car seat community, you know that we've got your back. We love you.